Now that he's 3, we look at all his medical records, which looks like a medical journal series because there's so much. He's had 19 surgeries. He has been admitted to the hospital over 100 times. His body went through a whole lot.
He's been a fighter from the beginning, and he always had like a strong presence, even as a newborn. There was always something about him that kind of caught the room, caught the attention. But he was a lot of health professionals were scared. They didn't know what was going to happen. We were all kind of in the air.
It's really hard to pinpoint where you will be, with a child that has a lot of medical complications.
The initial reaction of his diagnosis was alarming, didn't fully understand what was going on. I knew something was wrong when his oxygen didn't pass 90. It was like 89 or 88 or something like that.
Even with his diagnosis and things that he kind of picked up, in his illnesses, they were very, like on the fence. Like he may not actually make it, but there is a strength that he has that no one can take away from him.
There was a moment when they were running out of medical options for him. I'll never forget the day, because this is probably the one day where I broke down, right? The wife calls me and says they're running out of medical options and they just want to prepare us. And I remember pulling over and praying, asking God, should I continue to believe he's going to get better, or should I start preparing a funeral? And I remember the Lord showed me a vision of him being a teenager. And I held on to that.
But me and my husband, we were always positive. We are Christians. We just believe that Lorenz is going to be fine, and we were willing to go through the fight with him. And so just to see him where he is today is just like, it's really amazing, and really he is truly a miracle child.
But in the first year of his life, it was rough because we really couldn't hold him and walk around because he had so much connected to him. I'd say the first year and a half of his life. But then once he got his reversal from the ostomy, once his anus was reconstructed, and he didn't have so much, and the G-tube, once the G-tube was disconnected, we were able to do more, I would say, normal activity.
We were doing outpatient therapy at one point with the hospital, and then we also were doing early intervention at home. In my personal opinion, early intervention worked better for him because he was able to be in his comfort zone of home. He was able to see us, he was able to see his siblings, and so there's just his everyday life, it was just better for him.
Seeing him kind of now, he's in a place where he's conquering all of his goals. I had to believe that then, and now just it's kind of like catching up, if you will. So I'm excited to see it, but I can't say I'm surprised because I had to believe this was possible to make it this far.
Having older siblings who have 3 times as much energy than me and Dad helped a lot. It helped a lot. And what we also wanted to teach our older kids was that, this is your brother. He's got some things going on, a lot of things going on, but he's still your brother, and we're gonna treat him very normal.
He needs love at the young age, like any other child. And so seeing him now, as strong as he is, and as happy as he is, as adventurous as he just gets into everything, it puts a smile on my face, makes me happy.
Right now, he can honestly do anything and everything. Now that we see he's at a fantastic, stable place, really there's nothing that he really can't accomplish. I think the hardest part of his life has already happened.